Why is there this somewhat secretive nature to fire investigation?
Because of the length of time it takes us to conduct the investigation itself. Oftentimes it's really easy to point fingers at one thing until you arrive on scene and find out that that's simply not the case.
Yeah, Utah, no stranger to wildfires, but how are these fires starting and how much are we to blame for sparking them up in the first place?
Brian Schnee spoke to the state fire investigator about what they're seeing when determining the cause of these wildfires. He also explores why we rarely hear about the cause and the difficulties recouping money spent to put out these fires.
More than 1,100 wildfires in Utah, burning more than 165,000 acres this year alone. Wildfires require investigation to learn how they sparked in the first place. But right now it's a heavy lift with only one full-time fire investigator at the state level.
A tape measure, markers.
Investigating the cause of a wildfire.
Just a variety of different tools for evidence collection.
Like investigating the scene of a crime. So you've seen everything?
I wouldn't say everything, but I've seen a lot.
Having spent 18 years as a fire warden in southern Utah, Ryan Riddle is now the Fire Trespass Coordinator and Investigator for the Division of Forestry, Fire, and State Lands. How many investigators do we have at the state level?
At the state level, currently, right now, we have one full-time dedicated fire investigator.
So we need more, it sounds like.
We need more, yes, yes. Utah is growing, our population is growing. Unfortunately, our human-caused fires are going up, and so we want to make sure that we've got a good, solid investigation on the ground, and we're doing our due diligence to protect the taxpayer dollar.
Riddle works with what are called fire scene examiners across Utah, who help make the initial cause determination on fires before an investigator can arrive.
Just like a crime scene that a police department would work, fire leaves those indicators for us to read.
In some cases, the indicators lead to evidence, which can lead to a cause.
It's going out and literally eliminating all of the other statistical causes. And oftentimes that takes a lot of time.
But every fire investigation is different.
Blown tires, roadway starts are our leading cause of human-caused wildland fires, followed by negligence.
For example, the Willard Peak fire in North Ogden, which prompted evacuations, was sparked by a vehicle fire.
If we suspect some type of criminal element to it, then we're going to pull our law enforcement partners in, and they lead the criminal investigation side.
But after investigating further, we found local police went far beyond what the public quickly learned about the cause. Police conducted interviews and collected GPS coordinates, ultimately determining a juvenile driver was behind the wheel of a Jeep that overheated in an extremely dry area with no trespassing signs posted. Charges were recommended for the driver. In southeastern Utah this past July, a ranch owner speaking to us just days after the Deer Creek fire ignited in San Juan County.
And I just drove into what I would call just Old LaSalle proper. And I drove in there and saw a little fire, which was no more than an acre or even half acre.
Local investigators allege Scott Carrier was recklessly burning in his yard while Stage 1 fire restrictions were in place. The fire escaped the burn pile, eventually resulting in this.
The trees are 50 feet high. The flames were three, 4 times higher than that. It was just enormous.
Carrier is facing multiple misdemeanor charges related to the fire that burned 12 homes and more than 17,000 acres. How often does an individual ever come back around full circle and something financially is actually recovered?
We see it a fair amount of time, but we're lacking there, and we know that we're lacking. And so that's my goal, is to improve those relationships with law enforcement and prosecutors to help them understand what their role is. I think in the past that has been lost.
So it sounds like historically maybe there's been too many slaps on the wrists or not strong enough to get cost recovery when it comes to a wildfire.
Yeah.
That has a criminal element to it.
That's definitely been the case, in my opinion.
Despite our ask, the state did not share data related to costs recovered from wildfires where a person was determined at fault, now many of which take years to play out in court. It's important to note here, 2 of the 5 largest fires in Utah this year are still undetermined, both of which are U.S. Forest Service jurisdiction, not the state of Utah. This includes the Monroe Canyon fire, which burned more than 73,000 acres and resulted in more than $100 million in suppression costs. Brian Schnee, KUTV 2 News.
And the